What's up? I want to talk today about myths and lies. I want to talk about the perceptions of things that we're not seeing and our experience not being um, whole because we can't experience what someone else experiences. But let's start with truths and lies. I was going to record this as a podcast, but as the Dream Mason podcast is really being retired and ending its run of 4 years and over 200 episodes, and a new podcast is being bloomed. I think I'm just going to bring these things here to YouTube. And yeah, so I hope you enjoy them. Okay, let's talk about myths and lies first. The first thing I got is I spent a lot of time trying to cultivate a morning routine. When I started to work on myself and get into personal development and coaching, it was like, you need to wake up at this time and you need to meditate and you need to work out and you need to read all these books. And oh, it was just like endless, right? It was like I started waking up at 6 and then I was waking up at 5 and I was part of the 4 a.m. club. And all of a sudden it was like 4 hours of my day were getting me set up for my day. Now, I do believe that, if like an athlete gets prepared before their game, but I think the way that we prepare looks different for everyone. And I think that's the missing feature in these truths and lies. Successful people, entrepreneurs, thought leaders so often are telling us things like you need to have a morning routine, you need to meditate, you need to move your body, you need to do all these things before you start your day. Now here's the thing, I do think we need to cultivate things that we do. I think meditation is great. I think yoga is great. I think exercise is important. I think eating healthy is important. I think sleep is important. I think self-love is important. I think affirmations are great, right? There's all these things. Journaling is great. But you need to find the way that it works for you. That's the lie, is that you need to do it like this. And what I've found is when I wake up in the morning, I'm my most clear. I'm my most focused. My thoughts are like on point and I'm able to wake up, sit down and start pumping out work. And from like 5 a.m. or 6 a.m. until 8:30, 9 or 10, I can churn out way more things than I would be able to do if I woke up and I meditated and I exercised and I did some long morning routine and I don't start my day until later. With every moment, almost past 10 a.m., it feels like I lose focus and I become more like ADHD, more distracted. As I get into the afternoons, I'm basically a lost cause. So someone could say, hey, well, you can change that, maybe. I would agree that with practice you can change anything, but I can also work with myself so I don't have to be battling myself. If I know that I'm the most clear, the most productive in the morning, why not get to work in the morning? Why not meditate later in the day? Why not do my exercise later in the day? And so I realized, like, for so long I was buying into this myth. I was doing all these things because other people said this is the way to be successful. This is the way to live a great life. And I tried it, which I think is great. I think we should all try things that get us out of our comfort zone that are different. And I realized, hey, here's some things about me that I actually really like. Now, I like that I'm productive in the morning. Why don't I utilize that? Now, if I didn't like it, I think that's a different conversation. If I need to be productive in a way that doesn't serve me, let's say in the mornings I had to use them for like my family, then it doesn't necessarily work. But if I can find a way to use the things that I like about myself or that are effective with myself in a way that serves me, ta-da, magic, right? And then I can find a way to do these other things at other points. I wanted to talk about some more myths and lies. I realized from a friend this week that he was like, "Wait, you're not vegan anymore?" And I was like, "Nah, man, I haven't been vegan for a while." And I went vegan for all of 2020, best I've ever felt in my entire life. For 2021, I went like 90% vegan, and in 2022, it's probably been like 60% vegan, and the rest whatever I want. And here's the myth. Well, one is that people have this idea about what I'm doing based on what I did do. But really the myth is that you can be healthy and that you'll feel good. And I think that's a lie in the sense of, for the most part, I'm healthy. I exercise most days. I exercise pretty intensely. I eat 60% probably really healthy. I do things like meditate and move my body, and yet I feel like crap. And the only time I felt good when I was really being hardcore vegan. And I started to think, I need to, just because I'm healthy doesn't mean that I feel good. And feeling good, I think for most of us matters more than this term healthy. I would rather feel good in my body, feel good in my mind, and have somebody say, but you're not healthy, than have someone tell me that I'm healthy, but I feel like crap. And I know there's a lot of people out there that have, especially gut issues, or like they're achy or they're in pains or unseen illnesses, that they're quote unquote healthy, but they don't feel good. And I'm not saying these things have to be binary. It doesn't have to be like one or the other. But I think there's this myth or this lie that if we do things that are healthy, then that's that what we have to, that's like good for us. I interviewed someone recently who I shared with them that I used to drink smoothies every day, fruit, kale, spinach, whatever, and that it didn't feel good right now. And they expressed to me from their Ayurvedic tradition and background that, hey, it might not be good for you right now. It might be good for people in general, but for maybe that's not what your body needs. Maybe the fact that it doesn't taste good and it doesn't feel good is your body telling you things. And I think this is the thing to go beyond the myth or the lie, is that we need to pay attention to what our body's telling us. If we're eating healthy and we feel like crap, that's not working for us. If we're working out and our body is achy and hurts all the time, that way of working out isn't working for us. If we're doing a morning routine and we're not feeling the joy or the satisfaction or the productivity or the peace that it's supposed to give us, then just because those things are said to be good doesn't mean they are working for us. And here's the last piece. We need to be honest with ourselves to get to the root of this. We have to be honest to say that, wow, I'm not eating in a way that serves me. I'm not working out in a way that serves me. My morning routine doesn't serve me. And we need to cultivate and practice finding ways that are good for us and that serve us. That when I say good for us, they support us to live the lives we want to live, and they support us to feel the way we want to feel. So here's some questions you can ask yourself. Do I have a morning routine? And if I do, what was the purpose of it? Did I do it because successful people said you got to have a morning routine, and because all these gurus and coaches said we got to have a morning routine? Or did I do it because it supports me to show up and perform with my family and my business, with myself, the way I want to? Or did I create it, again, based on that? If I created it for other people because they said, what was the thing I was trying to achieve? Is it helping me get there? If it is, maybe it's great. If it's not, maybe it can be reinvented. Maybe it could also be reinvented. You could ask yourself, can I recreate this in a way that serves me and the goals I have, but also in a way that feels good? You might look at your diet the same way. I'm not advocating that anyone go vegan. I tried vegan because I knew I was eating healthy and I still didn't feel good. So I explored something new and I found out that it was the best I've ever felt. And then I was like, oh, I want to have a little more freedom, which is great, but it actually doesn't serve me because I was slipping off that slope. And I'm looking at like, hey, I might still be healthy, but I don't feel good. So what do I need to do to feel good? Well, I need to get back into yoga. I need to start eating more vegan, like almost 100%. And I need to do things that make me feel good, like getting up early and working right away actually makes me feel good, makes me feel productive, makes me feel accomplished, and also lets me have the later part of the day when I get distracted and unfocused that I can just let it go. So I would advocate you ask yourself these questions, that you take a look and see what you can do to have not only your life help you get where you want to go, but have it feel and the experience of your life also be the way that you want it to be. I hope this is helpful. I hope that you subscribe and like this channel, and I'll see you next time.